Tonight, I want to tell you a story that starts where many men think theirs has ended, right after heartbreak. You're alone, confused. A woman you gave your soul to has left, and now you're staring into the abyss of what was supposed to be your future. And then, she appears. A new woman, stunning, attentive. She laughs at your jokes, responds to your texts immediately, even tells you you're not like other men, and for a moment you feel alive again. But here's what you're not seeing. This, my friend, is the most dangerous moment in your love life. You are on the verge of making one of the most emotionally reckless decisions of your life, and you think it's healing. Welcome to the world of rebound relationships, where the pain you refuse to feel will quietly eat you alive. This is not a love story, it's a warning, and if you don't listen, you will bleed twice for the same heartbreak. So sit down and let's talk like men, because what I'm about to tell you is going to sting. Let's not lie to each other. You're not over her, not even close. And yet, here you are, trying to move on by leaping into the arms of another woman. Why? Because facing yourself in the mirror terrifies you. Rebounds are not about healing, they're about distraction. You want to skip the grieving, the crying, the lonely nights, so you use someone else's body to bury your own pain. But let me be brutally honest, no one deserves to be used like that. And no amount of sex, affection, or chemistry will make you whole again. In fact, the more you chase comfort in someone new, the more damage you do to yourself, to her, and to any real future you could have had. Rebounds are emotional band-aids on bullet wounds. They look like love, feel like passion, but in the end they explode. And when they do, the fallout is worse because this time you were the villain. And that, my friend, is a weight far heavier than heartbreak. Let me ask you something honestly. Are you with her? Or are you just unloading your pain onto someone who didn't cause it? Many men in rebound relationships don't fall in love. They fall into therapy. You don't want a girlfriend. You want a listener, a fixer, a mother figure. Someone to validate that you're still desirable, still lovable, still a man. But here's the ugly truth. The moment she stops giving you that emotional high, you'll start to resent her. You'll blame her for not being enough. And she'll feel confused, maybe even manipulated, because what she thought was love was actually your pain in a dress. Rebound relationships are emotionally parasitic. They start with fire and end with confusion, because they're based on filling voids, not building connections. You're not ready, and you know it. And worse, she knows it too. That unease you feel, that's your conscience begging you to stop pretending. But most men don't. And that's how good women get broken by broken men. Before we go any further, if this is already hitting a nerve, good. That means we're getting somewhere. And if you're the kind of man who wants to stop repeating the same mistakes, who wants clarity and truth even when it's uncomfortable, then do yourself a favor and subscribe to this channel right now. Because this is where we talk about what your mates won't say, what your therapist probably avoids, and what your ex was too tired to explain. No fluff, no games, just cold truth served with purpose. Hit that button. Because what you hear here might just save you from yourself. You think she's perfect. But here's a thought. Maybe she's just available. And right now, that's all it takes. You're not falling in love, you're chasing dopamine, the quick hits, the thrill of new attention, the validation of her texts. But here's the problem. Dopamine wears off. And when it does, all you're left with is reality. And reality, it's messy. It requires emotional maturity, patience, boundaries, all things you don't have when you're broken. The rebound feels amazing because you're emotionally unstable. That rush you get from her attention, that's not love, that's escape. And it's addictive. You're not dating her, you're self-medicating with her. This isn't a relationship, it's emotional alcoholism. And just like with any high, the crash will come. And when it does, it'll be even more brutal. Because you'll have to grieve two women now. The one who left, and the one you misused trying to forget her. Let's talk pride. Male pride. Because a lot of men don't rebound for love, they rebound to prove a point, to prove they can get someone else, that they're not weak, that they're still wanted. But that kind of logic is emotional. Suicide. What often happens in rebound relationships is you settle. You lower your standards. You convince yourself that at least she's nice, or she gives me attention, and that becomes enough. But deep down, you know you're compromising. You know you're not challenged, not inspired, not truly respected. You're just being seen. And when a man stays where he's just seen and not felt, admired, understood, he dies slowly inside. That is the tragedy of the rebound. Not that it ends, but that it keeps you stuck in emotional limbo where you lie to yourself every day. And the longer you stay there, the harder it becomes to tell the difference between real love and codependency. Controversial take, but hear me out. What if she's using you? What if her ex broke her heart, and now you're the new man she parades around to prove she's over him? What if you're not a lover, but a weapon? Rebounds work both ways, and men rarely stop to consider this. You're so busy soaking up her attention that you miss the red flags, the oversharing about her ex, the subtle comparisons, the strangely fast intimacy. You think she's falling for you, but really, she's trying to erase someone else, and you're the eraser. It feels good now, but when she's done proving her point, she'll move on, and you'll be sitting in the wreckage, wondering what the hell just happened. Don't flatter yourself. In rebound dynamics, you're either the user or the used, and both roles leave you emptier than before. So ask yourself, are you really falling in love, or just falling into a trap? Here's something no one tells you about rebound relationships. They have long-term consequences. Emotional damage, trust issues, even distorted beliefs about love. You may walk away thinking all women are confusing or love is just temporary. But what really happened is you created a mess and then blamed the fallout on fate. Men who jump into rebounds without healing end up distrusting relationships altogether. They become cold, guarded, paranoid, and then they wonder why they can't connect years later. Rebounds are not temporary mistakes. They are emotional blueprints you hand to your future self. And if that blueprint is built on insecurity, escapism, and emotional avoidance, you'll keep building relationships that collapse again and again. So when people say, "What's the harm in rebounding?" remind them the harm isn't what happens next month. It's what happens to your soul 3 years from now when you're still picking up pieces of a woman you never truly loved. So what's the alternative? You stop. You sit with your pain. You go through the hell of healing like a man who actually wants to grow. That means no dates, no flirting, no seeking validation. Just you, your broken heart, and the hard truth. Do the therapy. Take up the gym. Rebuild your identity without needing someone else to reflect it. Most men fear solitude, but solitude is where real power begins. Because when you heal on your own, no one can take that healing from you. You become emotionally bulletproof. Rebounds are shortcuts, but healing, that's the real game. And only the brave can play it. Don't be another guy looking for comfort. Be the guy who turns his pain into purpose. That's what makes a man unforgettable. Not how fast he moves on, but how deeply he transforms. You're at a crossroads right now. One road is easy, full of distraction and attention, but it ends in confusion. The other is lonely, hard, uncomfortable, but it ends with clarity, peace, and self-respect. The rebound looks tempting, but ask yourself, do you want relief or do you want freedom? Because there's a difference. Relief numbs, freedom heals, and only one of them will give you the life, the love, and the legacy you deserve. Make the hard choice. Let her go. Let yourself grieve. Because the man who learns to walk through fire without trying to escape it becomes the kind of man no heartbreak can ever destroy again.